Good day, wizards, and welcome to today's lesson. At the end of this lesson, wizards will know community conservation programs, ecotourism, water in South Africa, river health and care of catchment areas, how wetlands are damaged, responsible use of water. Many communities depend on their natural environments for survival. Community conservation considers the needs of the environment as well as the needs of the people living in the environment. There are two kinds of community conservation projects. Projects that show people better ways to use natural resources in the environment, such as the Rainman Land Care Foundation. Projects that make income for local communities by using the natural environment as a resource, such as the Mahashe Shongwe Game Reserve. Now, wizards, looking at examples of community conservation projects. The Rainman Land Care Foundation. This foundation in KwaZulu-Natal helps local farmers to care for their land so they can produce more food, cause less damage to the land, and use the soil and water resources better. It teaches farming communities the following methods for improving land and conserving resources. Number 1, making compost. Farmers can make compost from animal manure, leaves, grass, and kitchen waste. Compost replaces important nutrients in the soil used up by plants. Water harvesting. Water is essential for plants to grow, but in much of South Africa, rain falls in heavy storms that last a short time. Farmers are taught to plant banks of grass called swales between beds of crops. The roots of the grass help to keep water in the soil for longer. The plants also prevent the soil from being washed away. Also, making mulch. Mulch is a layer of grass or leaves that farmers spread on top of the land to stop the soil from drying out from the heat of the sun. Mulch also makes it more difficult for weeds to grow. Mahashe Shongwe Game Reserve. Wizards, this game reserve was set up by the Mzindi community of Mpumalanga Parks Board and a private company in Mpumalanga. The community set aside some of their land to be developed into a game reserve when it realized that the land could not be used for growing crops. They believed that making a game reserve would use the land better and conserve natural resources. They also hoped to make money from using their land as a conservation area. They built roads and lodges for guests and brought game animals into the area. Within a few years, people were paying to visit the Mahashe Shongwe Game Reserve. The local community share in the profits the game reserve makes. Now, there are jobs in the game reserves for the local community. People who visit the game reserve can hike, birdwatch, hunt, and go on game drives, as well as educational tours. Now, wizards, we have the following activity for you to complete. Number 1, what is the main aim of the Rainman Land Care Foundation? 2, name the different natural resources that the foundation helps the communities to use more wisely. 3, who benefits from the Mahashe Shongwe Game Reserve? 4, how has the Mahashe Shongwe Game Reserve changed lives?